It's Peachy Pie coming to you live. Step up to my stage so I can serve you life. Yeah. Story time of how I got pregnant, how I became a mom, how Little Pie came about. Okay? So, I got pregnant at the age of 19. Yes. During my second semester of sophomore year at the illustrious Virginia State University. Y'all like my bun? My hair real tight. It's okay, Mary. Just okay. So, I got pregnant at the age of 19 during my second semester of my sophomore year at the illustrious Virginia State University. So that was during COVID, y'all, because COVID hit and it shocked the world. It shocked me. And we was literally on campus. I will never forget. It was in March, like the last week of March, because my birthday is in April, like April 9th, duh. So we get this email from school saying, there has been an outbreak. Please beware. Call your parents. I said, call my parents. I said, what you trying to tell me that we done paid this money? Shh. Mommy's, be quiet. So I was like, call your parents. I was like, alright, she down the street. So I okay, wait. After we got kicked off campus, my birthday come around. My mom was like, we gonna celebrate your birthday? I was like, period. So she threw me a birthday cookout and she was like, invite your friends. I was like, say less. The yard was full. The party was lit. Fun was had. And y'all, literally, how long was it? Not even a week or two after my party and my birthday had passed. And I had turned 19. Literally just turned 19. I guess I caught COVID. I don't know. So like 2 weeks after my party, I was like, oh my gosh, my taste buds are just like gone. Like I can't smell nothing. Like what is going on? Me and my sister was like that for a minute. We was like, girl, we got COVID. But glory to God, thank you God for keeping me, my sister and my family during those times, because not everybody, I guess, survived COVID. So shout out to y'all if y'all know somebody in your family or just friends, close friends. Like I said, I got pregnant at 19 years old. I ended up having my gender reveal and my 20th birthday dinner party photo shoot. And yeah, who does that? Me. So y'all, it was lit. I found out that I was having a baby boy and turned 20 in the same day. And we went out to eat after that. I had a scavenger hunt. I had a scavenger hunt themed gender reveal. But mind you, the gender of my child was already revealed to me the day before that. I guess by mistake by my sister's best friend. But it's okay because I'm happy because I have a beautiful, handsome son to me. Okay, go sit down. Stop clicking my button and go. Love you. You better act right if you want ice cream. So, yeah. So, my pregnancy was very much high risk. I still do, have a blood disorder and other things that factored into it. Was like stress going on, trying to figure out how to finish college and graduate magna cum laude was going on. Okay, be quiet. And you know, just everything. Like when my family found out I was pregnant, like that was added stress. It was a lot of doubts and everything. Not on my end, because I knew my God. I know my God, and I always said, like, from the moment I looked at that pregnancy test, I was like a wave of calmness just hit me, and was like, you're gonna be okay. And yeah. So, you know, that stress just really made my pregnancy 10, 20 times harsher, I guess, on my body. Like, it was a lot on my body. My blood pressure was through the roof all the time. Every time I had my doctor's appointment, had to check my blood pressure 1, 2 to 3 times. And she almost sent me to the hospital one time because of it. She was like, "Are you okay?" So she put me on a blood pressure medicine just to try and regulate that. So imagine all the stress going on, and I'm wondering, like, how am I going to get through this, God? Like, God, how am I going to feed a child, like, clothe, feed a child, provide for a child, protect a child? And I was barely doing it, you know, on my own, because, mind you, I was in college. Yes, I've been working since the day I turned 16. But it's different, you know what I'm saying? You are determined to be in this video. Okay. But like I said, I was determined to get their money because that's something that has been in me since I was little. I was always do what you gotta do, get their money. You want good things, get their money, work hard. You know, so I had it in me. And he got that in him too. Well, you'll see that later. Timmy, stop.
What?
Mommy loves you. Let me get this story out, okay?
Okay.
Love you. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I was always get that money. So I was like, you know, determined, like, I gotta push through this. Like, I gotta, you know, do it. So, oh my gosh. You know, it was a lot. I just thank God, like, now I can look back and, like, laugh about it. But in those moments, I would cry every day. Like I said, my family, you know, kind of stepped away from me for a moment. But at times, they would often talk about me to my sister. And I'm like, which was dumb. Like, that's my sister. Yes, me and my sister have, you know, arguments here and there sometimes. But that's my sister. She gonna tell me what it is regardless, okay? So she told me, and I was like, oh my gosh, they said that about me and my unborn child. So it did rub me a type of way. And that added to my stress. So I was working as a customer service. Tamir, stop. I was working as a customer service representative at this company. I'm not gonna say their name because no. But you know, I was on my feet a lot, I guess, or just sometimes I was able to sit down. But those calls were stressful. The clients were stressful. So, excuse me, it added on towards my mental stress, my physical stress, emotional stress. And you know, like, excuse me, whatever you feeling as a pregnant woman is what your baby is feeling. So, come on.
Mommy?
Yes.
That is my phone.
Yes, okay. So,
no,
you know.
that's my phone right there.
Okay, I love you. Be quiet. So, whatever you feeling as a pregnant woman, your baby's feeling it. So, my doctor starts realizing that.
Okay.
Because she been my OBGYN has been my OBGYN since I was 16 years old. So, okay. So, she ends up, you know, realizing what's going on. I just straight broke down before, you know, in front of her one appointment. And she was just like, it's okay. Like, let's just try to keep you healthy long enough to deliver. Okay, thank you. To deliver healthy. Because that was the only thing I said. Regardless of what I go through, I don't even care what I'm going through, Doc. I want my baby to be healthy. And, you know, be here and not have, you know, complications coming into this world. So, you know, she was like, I agree. However, like my levels of my blood and everything, my blood disorder and stuff like that, I guess it was kind of getting worse as my pregnancy progressed because it was starting to pull in my organs and stuff. Okay, be still, be quiet. Love you. It started to like stop clicking it. It started to pull in my organs. And at first I was like, girl, what are you talking about pulling my organs? But then she sat me down and like told me, like, cause she had to draw my blood and everything. She was telling me what it was doing, like the stress and the stress was pulling in my blood disorder, and my blood disorder was just pulling in my organs and my stress and the baby. I said, Lord have mercy. But God was in control then, and He still is, and I'm thank God for that. So my due date. Okay, pause. I was about 6, about to be 7 months pregnant when I let the world know that I was pregnant. And I did that at my baby shower when I posted a picture. So I did that, and I guess like that was really when things started like picking up. So I was 7 months pregnant then. My original due date was supposed to be September 3rd, 2021. I gave birth. I ended up being induced August 27th, 2021 with this little pie because of everything that was going on. You know, my body, I was like, Doc, I don't care what you got to do. I don't care how long it may take me to recover. I want my baby healthy, alive, and here. You know, and I still value my life as well, but I really was caring about him. I said, do what you got to do, Doc, to save him.
Coffee.
Mommy will get it. Hold on. So I was like, you know, do what you got to do, Doc, to save him because that's my baby. Like,
What's up with my phone?
over there. I was like, do what you got to do to save my baby because that's my baby. And I told her that right before I got induced. So, if some of y'all don't know, and being induced means basically your doctor gives you a day where they will induce your labor. So they end up breaking my water. They end up giving me, I think it's called Pitocin or something, to like get them contractions flowing. So my mom and my father, who are divorced, separated for many years now, they took me to the hospital August 26th. Like that morning or whatever. Was it that night? No, August 27th. August 27th that morning, like early that morning, because I was there all day. Do you hear me? I was there all day.
Mommy,
So,
I'm watching the TV.
okay, yes, be quiet. I was literally there all day, y'all. So, even my sister to this day was like, why didn't you want to be there? Why you got induced? Because mind you, this was still COVID times. I cannot have that many people like how before COVID was, you can have multiple people in the lobby and they can come back and switch out, you know, to come see you and the baby during the whole process. They shut all of that down. So I did not have all of that. But I said, in case something did happen to me while I was giving birth to him, I did not want my sister to make that call, you know, like, who do we save? Do we save her? Do we save the baby? You know, I did not want that. I did not want that call to be with my sister. So I told my mother and my father to be there with me. And they was. They did their very best that they could to be in the same room with each other and, you know, be there with me, help me when I needed something, or just, you know, caring about him. So thank y'all for that.
We got Easter.
So yes, I was induced. They broke my labor. Child.
Hey, Patricia.
Come here.
I
Do
see-
you want ice cream?
No.
Let me get through this video, okay?
I want to see it.
You can't see it. I love you. So they broke my water. That, I guess, was taking too long. So then they gave Pitocin. I think that's the word for y'all. Do not quote me. I started to become dilated. And I was like, oh, these contractions. Oh, these contractions. Mommy loves you. I was like, oh, these contractions. So as that happened, my baby's head started to cone. And y'all, I cannot stand when she stuck her little fingers in me, the doctor, the OB-GYN. Stuck her fingers to see how dilated I was. That hurt so bad. I said, ooh, please stop. I almost snatched her up the last time. Right before the last time she checked me, I almost snatched her up because it hurt so bad. I said, no, do not touch me, doctor. No. But, yeah, so like, his head started to cone, like in my birthing canal. Like his head started to cone, which is dangerous, you know. So they was like, hey, your pelvis is too small to push the baby out, which I wanted to do, y'all. I wanted to push my baby out, you know. So I just wanted to, like, I was really like preparing myself them whole months to push my baby out. I wanted to push my baby, but she was like, no, like, it's dangerous. And his blood pressure or heartbeat, one of them started to drop, and mine went up. So I was like, just get the baby out, get the baby out, get that baby out. So she was like, okay, we're gonna have to rush you immediately to a crash C-section. And y'all, it happened so fast. It was like nurses coming in like do, grabbing this, checking this, cleaning that, fixing this up, taking blood, taking this. At one point, I had to look at my mom and dad. I'm like, what is going on? And I literally had to choose between my mom and my dad, like, who was gonna be in the room with me as I had this emergency C-section, like this huge surgery. And I just looked at my mom, because my mom had a C-section with me. So I was like, Mommy, you just gonna have to be in there with me, and if something happened, you just gonna have to call it. You know, like, make that call. And my dad felt a way about it. But my dad don't like blood. So I was like, why would you be in there with me? Like, you don't like blood. He never liked blood. Like, for real. So, but he was still there. So thank you, Daddy. Yeah, so thank you, Daddy. So, you know, like in C-section, a scheduled C-section, I guess, you supposed to be like shaved down there, you know, in your cootie cat. So I didn't want all that, nobody shaving me, baby. I took care of that before I got induced, before I, you know, had to come in. Because I was like, I don't want nobody, no, I'm going to take care of it. And so I did. And baby want her hair down there. So when it came to do the surgery, she's like, well, I'm going to have to. Imagine, the nurse was so nervous to come near me. I guess she was new, but God bless her. So she coming in with a little pan and shave and kid. Hi, Mama. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to shave it. I said, I know you lying. You shaking like a $2 hole. No.
No. Don't shave you.
I said, no, ma'am, I've already taken care of that downstairs. She is prepared. She said, you mind if I have a look? I said, lift that gown up, baby. And she said, oh, my. You are taken care of. I said, So I was like, yeah, let's get this thing rolling. So, like 30 minutes after that, she takes me back there. Mind you, before that, I had to get an epidural because the contractions was like crazy. When he put the needle in my back, I felt all through my body. I'm like, I know he hit a nerve. I know he hit a nerve. But then after the epidural was in, I was like, really? So yeah, that happened too. But back to 30 minutes about to do the surgery. After that, the surgery started, you know, I get pushed back there. I'm like, ooh, I'm nervous. My mama suit up. Y'all know my mama is like 5 foot even on a good day. So she's trying to fit into the little outfit to go in there for the. Okay, she's trying to fit into the outfit to go into the. Get it out. She's trying to fit into the outfit to go back there with me into surgery. It was the funniest thing. I just was like, Mama, you, like, that is too long for you. Like, the sleeves was falling. I said, no. So then I started getting nervous. So he was like, well, how much y'all think he gonna weigh? How much you think? I just knew my baby was gonna be a butterball turkey, baby. A butterball turkey. This boy, well, I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so we go back there, and my doctor, my OBGYN, is the one performing my surgery. Because I was like, ain't nobody touching me but you. Because I trusted her, you know, we had a bond. And she's African American, she's an AKA, shout out to you, period. So, you know, we had that bond. And I knew that my life would be good in her hands. She's a woman of God. I trusted her, period. So we go in there. I'm meeting everybody. I'm getting the anesthesia. Yeah, I meet that man for that. And he's like, can you breathe? I was like, yeah, I'm good, yeah. Cut it out. So I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And he real fine too. God bless him, wherever he had. He was real nice. You know, he made sure I could breathe. So I was on my back stretched out like this. I said, ooh. So all the way of my baby, the everything was just sitting on my knees, sitting on my chair, everything. So I said, oh God. I said, cut that oxygen up, baby. I said, cut that oxygen up. And he did. Because I was like, I cannot breathe. So, he did. He was really nice. So my surgeon, my OBGYN, she says, play music. That's how she gets in her zone when she does her surgery. Kind of like, it felt like I was in an episode of Grey's Anatomy, y'all, for real. When some of the surgeons will be on the episodes or whatever playing music during their surgery. So I feel like that's okay, good. She's in her element. Let me just breathe. Yes, y'all. Even on the table, I still was feeling like, you know, all this weight on me, like I couldn't breathe. So fast forward like a good 30, 45 minutes. I'm like, is he out yet, Lord? And then I heard, after the longest time, I was like, what is that? And I was like, my baby. And literally, that was me, y'all. That's the first thing I said. Okay, I was like, my baby, that's my baby. So they got him out. Mind you, he came out like this, like with his hands behind his head. His arms was locked. So as she tried to take him out, he didn't want to move. So she had to unfold his arm and wiggle him out. But he was here. He was born August 27, 2021, weighing 7 pounds, 11 ounces, and 13 inches long. So, you know, I was grateful for that. It was a beautiful moment for me. Never will forget it. So he's out. They're cleaning him up to the side. They bring him over. My mom's recording the whole thing. She's on FaceTime with my sister and her best friend watching it because they was at work. So they was like, your sister just had the baby. She was like, she had the baby. I said, yes, y'all. I had the baby. So, the baby. I had him, and it was so sweet, y'all. But then something just did not feel right. Like that pressure and everything that I told you I was feeling like on top of my chest, y'all. The feeling of I couldn't breathe, it started increasing. But then I started feeling like this pressure in my head, and I was just like, oh God, I said something's not right. So then my mom and the nurses, they bring my baby Tamir over to me so I can kiss him. Like, my baby, oh, I love you. And literally after that, y'all, is when it went downhill. They took him away to get cleaned up into the, you know, get his checkup and everything, check his lungs, everything like that. And so my mom went with him because she couldn't be in there with me from that point on. Y'all, a C-section is not supposed to take longer than 30 to 35 minutes. Tell me why my surgery took an hour 45.
Papa?
I'll repeat that. My C-section took an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm hearing my surgeon. I'm telling the man, I'm on the table. I can't breathe. I don't feel right. He's like, the oxygen's on, ma'am. He's like, your oxygen stats look good. I said, well, something's not right. I don't feel well. And I hear my surgeon, my OBGYN, she gets quiet. She's like, cut the music. And I just get scared. And y'all, 5 minutes after she said it, I black out on the table. I'm like, and then all of that was like a blank to me. But although I was out, I could still hear. And I was like, what is going on? So I'm like, oh God, like, and all I heard was, hurry, pack her. Like, pack her, she's bleeding. So basically, I asked my doctor all this after what happened. After we got back to the room and everything. So basically, I started to bleed out. Like, you know, a little, oops, sorry. a little blood during a C-section is fine, but I was beginning to bleed out, and that's what tanked, or almost basically somewhat tanked my blood pressure. That's what made me feel like dizzy. Even though I was laying down, I felt dizzy, nauseous, just, you know, all over the place, just weak, you know. And so after that, I was like, oh my goodness. So I finally get back to the room, and my mama told me this. She was like, we was in the room where, like, we was in there for an hour, 45 minutes. We didn't know what was going on. They won't tell us none. The nurses looked like they didn't know who the patient was. I said, Lord have mercy. And so my dad was like, he was about to come back there and say something. That's just the father he is. So I was like, what in the world? Like, I'm okay. I just didn't know what happened. But she told my mom, she was like, yeah, it was a touch and go moment. So, oh, I just thank God. Like, God is so good that I'm here and I'm able to even be a mom to this little Pat right here. Love you. Because that was a scary moment. And, you know, my main focus was just on him. And him. I was like, Lord, please have us both in your hands. I'm like, Jesus, I just want to help the baby. So after we get back to the, you know, all that situated, I was really sore. We get back to the room, and I finally get to hold my baby. I was holding him like this. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I can hold you now. I can cuddle you up. I can smell you. I can kiss you. Oh, excuse me, y'all.
I hear mommy.
Yes, I love you. Yes. So I was so excited to finally be able to do that. Like, I just could not believe, like, my baby was finally here. After everything, like, when I got to hold him, landing plastic on my chest, it's like all of that was worth it. You know, the drama, the negative comments from my family, the family disappearing, all of that, it was worth it. Because I found it, like, all it didn't even matter. I was like, I got my baby. A blessing. That's truly what he is, a blessing. So,
Mommy,
yeah.
I need you.
Yes, I love you. I'm right here. So after that happened, I got to hold my baby, and you know, God made a way. God kept me through the labor, the pregnancy, the delivery, all of it. And my baby is healthy. He's currently 3 years old right now. His birthday is August 27th. Like I said, but yes, I'm just so grateful for him. And I just felt like it was only befitting, like, for me to tell how I became a mom, how I gave birth on Mother's Day. Like, you know, just telling my story on Mother's Day of how I gave birth to this little Pat right here. I just felt like it was necessary because, you know, some mothers don't get that. Some mothers experience their pregnancy but don't get to experience their baby having breath in their lungs. So, you know, it's a blessing. Yes, it is a lot of work. Yes, it is hard days. Yes, it is times where I just like have to or cry it out in the shower, like, when I get back to it, okay? But it's a blessing, and I'm so excited, and you know, just to see this little Pat grow up to become a God-fearing young man that God has him to be. My baby keeps telling me he wants to be a doctor, so I support it. Okay.
I get ice cream.
Yes, man, we got ice cream. But that wraps up this story time, y'all, of how I became a mom. Yes, I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful for everything and everyone who played a part in it, leading up to the birth, all through the pregnancy. God bless you. Thank you. And yeah. Little Pat, what you got to say?
Happy birthday.
Tamir.
Ice cream.
All right, y'all. So this wraps up this story time. I hope y'all like, share, and subscribe. All right. Because I'm so grateful, y'all. Y'all my peach leaves, and I love y'all. And it's up from here, okay? I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and just, you know, rocking with us. Rocking with Peachy Pat and Lil Pat right here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Yes, all of that. And thank y'all so much for... Yes. Thank y'all so much for continuing to come back, you know, and rock with me. So thank y'all so much for that. I hope everyone has a wonderful, blessed Mother's Day. All you new mothers out there, pray your way through it because God will see you through it. Yeah, just remember that God got you in his hands. Like, God got you. So yes, like, share, subscribe. Bye, Peach Leaves.